guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I will be sharing an easy but yet delicious jerk chicken recipe with you guys. Many of us are stuck at home, and when it comes to cooking, we want to make it as less stressful as possible. So that's why I love these easy recipes. So let's go over the ingredients, that way you guys know exactly what to put in your grocery list. Let's go. For the list of ingredients, you are going to be needing a teaspoon of cinnamon powder. I have some olive oil I will be using. You'll need 1 lime, and I am using some ground nutmeg. You can grate your own nutmeg if you wish. You are going to be needing 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and I am going to be using about 3 to 4 tablespoons of this Walker's Wood jerk seasoning. If you can't find this at your local grocery store, I purchased this from Walmart, but if you can't find it, you can definitely make your own. All they have in here is scallions, hot peppers, salt and black pepper, pimento, nutmeg, and some type of citric acid. You can use vinegar or lime juice, brown sugar, and some thyme leaves, okay? And you are going to be needing a whole chicken, and you are going to be needing something to bake it. I am using this, and I line my cookie sheet with some foil just so it can help the cleanup a little easier for me, okay? So please check the description box where I will list everything I use in this video. Let's get cooking, guys. So the first thing we're going to want to do is clean our chicken. The first thing I really like to do is clip the ends of my wings. Okay, just use your scissors and clip the ends. That's something I always do because I don't want this little sharp part when I am eating my chicken. So you want to go ahead and remove that packet that have your gizzard and your heart and everything. Right away I like to trim the fat, okay? If you don't have any lime at your house, you can use vinegar to clean your meat, but the Caribbean in me, we always clean our meat. I know some people might not agree with this, but this is just the Caribbean system of doing, and I feel like this will bring so much flavor to your meat before you even cook it. So I flip the chicken with the breast side down, and now you want to go ahead, and by the way, I like cutting this off because I just don't like that part of the chicken. That's optional. So I flipped it over, and you are going to go between that bone and just use your sharp scissors, even though my scissors is not always the sharpest, no matter how many I buy in a row, okay? And I don't really spend a whole lot of money on my scissors. Maybe that's the problem, but it gets the job done. I just have to use a little more force, but it definitely gets the job done. Okay, so as you can see, I butterflied my chicken, and I'm going to push it just to give it a little push so it can be a little flatter. Nothing crazy. Okay, now we have opened that chicken. If I had it on a flat surface, of course it will be a little easier for me to push down. So now it's time to clean that chicken. Take your knife, go in that pocket and remove all this out of your chicken. Again, no way I can eat, I shouldn't say I can eat, no way I can cook a chicken without doing this step. I clean my meat, okay? All right. If you're from the islands and you do this, no matter which island you're from, drop your flag down. If you're from any other countries, you're not used to doing that, but your Caribbean friend or I taught you to do this, drop me a comment as well. Or if you haven't done this, try it and let me know if you can taste a difference when you cook your meat, okay? I like to remove that yellow part on the bottom, on the right here. Just scrape it, it should come off. Sometimes if I have a hard time taking it off, I just use my scissors and just kind of cut that part off. So that little yellow part, that's usually on the drummies. drumsticks, just like that. And now I can see most of the fat has been moved, but there's some on the neck part. Use your knife. Take as much of the fat out as possible, okay? Just like that. And now go ahead and cut your lime. I am going to be using the whole thing, okay? And don't worry guys, even if I touch this with my hand, I always clean my stuff, okay? So you don't have to worry about me. And I'm doing all this step in front of the camera just so you guys can see exactly what I do. So take your lime, squeeze on top of the chicken and go between every part. Lift the wings up and just brush, scrub, I should say, scrub your chicken. Again, if you missed the part that I said, this will enhance a lot of great flavor before cooking your chicken, okay? And I will turn it, go in between the skin, and I'm going to use my fingers to create a pocket without ripping the skin, as you can see. This is probably the hardest part really to this recipe, is cleaning your meat, okay? I'll take the other lime, do the same. Now I'm going to rinse this under some hot water. I will take this over to my sink, rinse it under some hot water. I will not show you guys that part because I know you guys know how to just rinse a meat under some water. Once I do that, I'll come back and show you guys how I season the chicken. Now you want to go ahead and grab, like I said, 3 to 4 tablespoons of the jerk seasoning. I like mine nice and spicy, or maybe I'll do 3.5. I want to make sure I have enough to go all over this chicken. I used to make my own jerk seasoning when it was hard for me to find it in Dickinson, North Dakota, but lately our Walmart have been carrying it, so I don't really go through the process of making my own. But if you can't find yours, I will definitely write the list of ingredients that you can use to make your own. I'll just write down the one that's on the bottom, okay? So I put in about a tablespoon of olive oil with the jerk seasoning. I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit of nutmeg, not much. I just love the smell of nutmeg when I make jerk chicken. Personal thing, you don't have to use the same thing, but I just love that smell. And I'm going to put a little bit of garlic powder. I'm using, this is a half tablespoon and I use half of that, so let's say a teaspoon, let's say. We are just doing our own little measurement. And then a little bit of salt. Even though the jerk seasoning have salt, I just want to make sure my chicken have the proper salt, okay? So now you want to mix everything together, just like that. What I've been doing lately, since I've been home busy with the kids, when I buy chicken, I usually right away just clean it and season it, place it in my freezer. I do have a video coming up showing you guys exactly how I do that. All right, so now you want to go ahead and remove that little whatever little amount of spice you have on that spoon. That way we are not wasting anything. And now we are going to rub that jerk seasoning. Take the wings, lift the wings, rub it all over, okay? Flip it over. When I did this recipe, when I tried this recipe, I always try to come up with things, try to see how they're going to work before I come and share it with you guys. But I wanted to grill it Unfortunately, that did not work out. It was so windy outside. So then my husband and I, we transferred it from the grill. It was only on the grill for like 5 minutes. We transferred it inside underneath the oven, but it was so delicious after it was done underneath the oven. Okay, I'm going into that packet that I made, just stuff some seasoning. Make sure you don't take a handful and just drop it in there. You have to make sure you rub it all over, otherwise you're going to end up with some hot pockets when you are eating it. Even though my jerk is already nice and spicy, I don't want to end up with a hot pocket to the point where I can't even handle eating my meat. Rub everything. Okay, now grab a fork and we are just going to poke it all over, just so that marinade can get all in our chicken. And we are going to place this in our fridge for 24 hours. Again, like I said, I do this ahead of time, so I already have one that's been in my fridge for 48 hours. Okay, just rub it really good. All right, then I'm going to come back and show you guys exactly how I bake this. So now you want to go ahead and turn your oven to 350 degrees and grab some olive oil. We are going to kind of brush some olive oil on that rack. That way our chicken is not stuck. Just easier to take out when it's done without the skin ripping. Okay. This brush is really not the best brush to use for this. Every time I go to the store, I forget to grab the ones that have like the little hairy bristles. Okay, but it's pretty good. Just like that. And now I am going to go ahead and grab my chicken. Again, this was marinating ahead of time. Nothing fancy. Okay, and we are going to place this under the oven for 55 to 60 minutes, or until the chicken is cooked all the way through. Okay, if you have like the neck or the gizzards, you can place them to the side as well. Okay guys, it's actually been an hour and 10 minutes. I did end up flipping my chicken over just so the other side can get a little color. However, I only allowed it to get a little color on the other side for only 20 minutes. So total cooking time is an hour and 20 minutes, okay? So now what I like to do, I'll go ahead and cut. I like to kind of cut in between the thighs. You can see the juice is very clear. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but the juice is running clear. So I'll cut in between here. And I did let it cool down for about 10 minutes, okay? So I'll cut into one, even though I want it to stay nice and pretty until we actually eat supper. But I want to show you guys that it is cooked. You can see here. Hopefully you guys can see. I don't want to mess it up too much. Okay. So you can see it is done. I like the skin, but I will leave the skin just to cover it up so it can still remain pretty. I'm going to go ahead and give it a taste. And if you want your meat a little darker, you can definitely let it cook a little longer, or even set it on broil just so it can be a little darker if you'd like. Even though it's nice and crispy on the outside, it's still nice and juicy on the inside. We will be eating this with some roti or homemade chapati. If you haven't seen that video from me, check the envelope that just came up. But that's what we're going to eat ours with a little tomato salad. This is what the rotis look like. I just made these, okay? Very nice and soft. Again, that recipe will be down in the description box, or you can just click that envelope that came up. All right guys, but that will do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully these recipes help you with this pandemic time, and I hope if you try them, please tag me on social media. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye bye.